Is on now. Welcome, YouTube, to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. We are getting things adjusted and set up so we can record the podcast.
Yeah, okay.
How's everybody doing today? I almost don't want to look at the chat because it got me in trouble last time. Just saying. Just saying.
Hello.
Is that dude going to be on our show?
No.
Did he ever reach out to you?
He is. I'm gonna call. I'm gonna talk to him. I'm gonna hear his viewpoint, and depending on how it goes, I'll record it. I don't think we're not gonna do like a live thing. I just want to hear his viewpoint. If he has some good points.
Christian Aleman says, "Hey, this is my first time joining live."
Hey, thanks for joining us,
Thanks for
Christian.
I think you're also Christian. I think you're the same person who commented, "Why is everyone so mean to Zach?" on the YouTube.
Have you met Zach?
On the luck of the draw? And the answer to that is that Zach is the worst, and he deserves to be made fun of. So, thanks for asking.
He's the guy that when you say something, for a joke, he'll say, "I'm sorry, what?" And you'll say it again, and he'll go, "I'm sorry, what?" And you'll like think in your mind, like, did I really say it?
But he doesn't say.
And then you'll say it, and he'll go, "I'm sorry, what?"
Yeah, he doesn't say, "I'm sorry, what?" though. He'll be like, "What?"
Oh yeah, what?
What?
And then the third time, you're like, "Okay, you're just
like,
being
okay."
And then like 10 minutes later, he'll do it again. Why am I looking at the computer? I should be looking at the camera.
You should be looking. Can you raise your seat at all?
Who?
You.
Why?
Look at where your head is compared to ours.
It's not too bad.
It's just a little bit lower.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right.
I don't have
I got a little hair help.
inferior posteriors. I don't know what that is.
I also don't know what that is.
If you are on the Disc Golf Answer Man Facebook page, we got a little discussion. I'm curious to see what everybody's definition of Calli is. So if you want to go on there and put your answer, I'm curious to see if everybody has the same definition of what Calli is and how the rules you play for Calli.
There's
and
There's
then
going to
where
be
it came
so many
from.
extras.
I know.
So many different
That's
ones.
what I'm saying. I was just curious.
Yeah.
So, is it obvious that it originated from California, or is there some other?
That's my best guess, but I don't
Yeah.
know where it would be from or why.
So we'll get to that here in a little bit.
Oh, Christian. Yeah, sorry, man. It when I saw no H in there, it just made me think it was a lot more Spanish sounding. So my bad.
Oh, did you mess up a name?
I just said Christian instead of
Yeah.
like Cristiano.
Yeah,
That's spelled that way, but
Mister always corrects me. It's not easy speaking English.
how would you have pronounced that?
reading English.
Reading.
I mean,
That's true. It's not easy. It's just being for me. For me, being. All right. We got anything that we want to... You got any course design stuff you got?
I do.
Have you even designed anything
Yeah.
ever?
Never.
What's the latest thing you worked on?
The latest course that I worked, was the Northeast trip.
Did we already talk about that?
We did. We talked a little bit
okay.
about that. But I booked my revisit to Alaska today.
Ah,
Oh, nice.
When do you go out there?
I'm going out there third week of August, I think it is, or in about 3 weeks.
Awesome.
Yeah. The week of the 19th. The week of the 19th.
Dude, Steezy Disc, $5 super chat out of the gate. He said, "From Baby Walter to the crew, thanks for giving us something to do on Tuesdays." Thanks, Steezy Disc. I appreciate that, man.
The work chat place I just sent you, do you think I should discuss that?
Workplace chat.
Absolutely. Why not?
What did I say?
Work chat place.
Yeah.
I think
Facebook
so.
chat place. Is that okay? Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, why not?
But yeah, Steezy, when I saw, first of all, thanks for the 5, man. That's super cool. When I saw Baby Walter, I thought you were referencing my dog for a second. I was like, he's kind of big now, but
He's still a baby,
you weren't.
though.
He's talking about a baby.
He's still a baby. Yeah.
Mike B, $2 says, "Sup, boys? Need more Lucid Deputy options, just saying." Yeah, we'd love to have some more Lucid Deputies around. I know Bobby would.
It's either one that sent it. Someone sent in a question about. No, Josh. No, don't answer here. You got to go to the Facebook group and put your answer in, so you can be part of the discussion.
The discussion.
Newbie63. I am in fact going to the Music City Open. Me and
Nice.
Derek are
Nice.
leaving about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Have fun.
So that we can get there in time to relax and check out the tags. So if you're going to be in the Tennessee area and going to play tags, hopefully I'll see you. I'll have to take my discs. Maybe I can play.
You should just play the tournament, Bobby.
I should.
I mean, you got to get that rating up.
That's true.
Yeah, come on.
Jeremy
man.
understand, right? Pay me to go play.
Of course. He may not even know. He
Nice.
may not scroll that far down in the results.
Rip. Steve Schinnerer said, "Great job on commentary last week. Thanks for pronouncing my name right in the super chat." Hey, in your face.
You talking about me? I wasn't on there.
No, I was on there.
You when?
I did the commentary. Did you see it?
For what?
Yeah, it was for Idlewild.
You commentate?
We used well, that was my first time.
Okay. I never.
We
would've
actually
known.
used
You
this
never talk
studio.
about it.
I don't talk about it.
It was a different. It was a different
Shut up.
studio.
Wait,
It was what?
It had to be a different studio.
Yeah.
But the background was different.
Yeah, well,
Oh yeah, that's right.
it's a good point.
You can't prove that it was in here.
When you put, I mean, we said it was from the DD Studios, but like, we could have said anything,
It could have been that wall over there.
or it could have been like a wall in one of our houses.
Yes, Danny is the only one that played.
You could have been in Kentucky.
at Idlewild.
Who knows?
Do we want to talk about your round, Danny?
Thanks, Jason.
Okay, Danny
Well,
doesn't
Danny
want to talk
doesn't
about
have to talk about it, but we can.
Oh, we can talk about it. You talked about it on your Instagram story.
Instagram.
Have you looked?
Did you
Did you
have
play
fun?
under your rating?
Well under my rating.
All 3 rounds?
2 of the 3.
Two.
That's not bad.
What were they?
I don't know. I didn't want
Something, and also something.
What was your best round? Your rating?
Your,
Was it the last round?
No, second round I thought was 987.
987.
so-
Okay. That's-
So everybody, you're safe. Danny will
looks
continue
brutal.
to make awesome videos for you guys. He will not be out on tour. That's the conclusion we come to.
Hey, we're poking fun at Danny, but I feel the same thing happens when I go out and play events sometimes as well. So
Oh, of course.
everybody has tough weekends.
I do that as soon as I walk out the door. All right, so let's get recording the episode. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby CoolDaddySlickBreeze. I have with me Eric Jones Gold McCabe.
I'm pumped about that.
And Robert, do you even commentary, McCall?
I don't know. It was my first time. I was just dipping my toe in the water.
All right, so what is Jones Gold? If you're from the Emporia area, you know what Jones Gold is, but
And even if you're not, you may know
yeah,
what
that's
Jones
true.
Gold is. We actually played Jones Gold at the 2012 GBO, I think it
Sounds
was. Is that
right.
right? It was a modified format or layout, I guess. It was a little different than what we're going to be using for the Disc Golf Pro Tour finale.
Yes, so if you've never heard of Jones Gold, you will have heard it by the time you watch the Disc Golf Pro Tour finale, because we are what it is. It's a combination of, we have 2 courses here that are excellent courses designed by Eric McCabe. Jones.
One of them is.
Oh, one of them.
I learned on the other one.
Oh,
I learned how to play on one, and I designed one of them.
Jones East and Jones West. But this is kind of a safari combination of the 2, and we call that Jones Gold. And actually, if you come to Emporia, you can go to our dynamicdisc.com website, and we actually have a map laid out, so if you ever wanted to play it. But we thought this would be, I'm excited. I'm excited to see the top players, to see how they do. Now, I know a lot of people, when they come play Glass One Open, I've heard some top pros actually, they enjoy the country club, but they have a little bit of disappointment because they do love the Jones courses. So for them to be able to come out and play Jones Gold, I think it's going to be really cool.
and switching it up. Just
Oh,
so they're
yeah.
not just coming to Emporia just to play the country club
Sure.
again. And the country club's great. Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong.
It's awesome.
It's a true battle. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a true test of everybody's skill. But in my opinion, it's just a little more difficult to just utilize Jones Gold for the Glassbone Open because you lose 2 courses. Well, you lose 1 course technically. You know what I mean? You lose 2 quality tournament courses,
Yeah,
Jones East and Jones West.
For the
when you
advanced
utilize,
intermediate fields, like they're
exactly.
perfect for
or
that.
even FPO.
Yeah,
or
perfect.
MP40, whatever you want to call them
definitely.
now. So being able to utilize that course, and it's a course that if we have, if you've been to Emporia or if you're around the Emporia area and played events like Lime Warrior Open, the doubles event, it's always held at Jones Gold. It is the layout that we're going to be playing is a slightly tweaked version of that because we didn't really want to have to throw over any roads.
Right.
So there's a couple holes that we tweaked a little bit, but
It plays
for
good.
the most part, it's the same, and it's awesome, and I am beyond excited for the guys and gals to come to town and play it.
Yeah, it's going to be super fun. I feel like we talk about Jones Gold like in hushed tones. People have heard about it, but they've never seen it. You're going to get to see it.
You get to see it.
I had a thought. Now it's gone.
I'm going to super chat while you think. Mike B, $1. Thank you. Nico Hertig, €2 says, how do you relax your wrist when you drive? Try and match. You keep it really tense. No, try and match the angle of your wrist, like in your hand, to your forearm, and just allow your wrist to break when it needs to, when it's crossing your chest. Don't curl it on your own. Thanks for the super chat.
So are we starting to charge for questions now?
We are.
Wow.
You get the jump.
We've made it.
You get the jump the line if you donate.
If you donate money,
you
then
get the jump the line.
In my book, you do.
That's cool.
Okay, so I do want to. If you are not familiar with Jones Gold, you will become more familiar because we have some media we're going to put out so that people are familiar with the course once the Disc Golf Pro Tour finale hits or comes to Emporia. One of the things is Eric McCabe is going to go out with Anthony, and they're going to film around, kind of like we've done before at GBO, kind of a course preview. We can watch Eric
get owned by Jones Gold.
Get owned, and then he's going to do commentary over that, and then we're going to highlight some of the holes and things. So you're going to be familiar with Jones Gold come Disc Golf Pro Tour finale time.
Awesome.
So
Robert,
Robert,
just going to go shoot it like a 58 and be like,
probably
this is pretty standard for me.
What is par
what
for?
you do. Par is 71 for the MPO.
Yep.
I think. Yeah.
In the iterations that we've played in doubles, Eric and I have shot a 53 and a 52.
Yeah. Those are the two best rounds that I know of on the course.
Yeah. They were pretty much the same layout as it is now. A couple of holes.
A couple tweaks. Like one of the biggest changes is the hole that I've always wanted in Jones Gold that we've never played in Jones Gold, which is 7 to 8 on Jones East.
Yeah.
That's the finale. That's the final hole. That's hole 18 coming down the stretch, and I think that hole is amazing. And I cannot wait to watch people play it.
And that's going to play differently because we were playing it as a par 4 that we eagled one of the years.
Correct.
Now it's playing as, I guess, still a par 4, but like a really hard par 4.
It's a par 4. I think it's a par 4 for the guys at least. But I think we're actually playing that hole as a par 5 for the females. I
think it's a
the
good
FPOs.
call. Yeah.
I believe they're playing the other tee pad too, so it's a little different. But either way, it's going to be awesome, and I'm stoked.
Let's get a question, and then we'll come back to a few more topics that I want to discuss. This one is from Dave. I can't remember which event I was watching, but the wind was really intense.
Probably Glass Blown Open.
Yeah, I was going to say, have you heard of Glass Blown Open?
Eagle McMahon was putting with a speed 4 mid-range to deal with the strong headwinds. What are your thoughts on that? Also, by the time you're reading this, I will have played in my first tournament, the Pittsburgh Flying Disc Amateur Open. What should be my major takeaways from that experience? So first, what are your thoughts on using a speed 4 mid-range for putting?
I mean, if it's really, really windy, that's usually going to be something that's a lot more overstable. I think Eagle's putting with an MD5, which is kind of like a Justice or a Gator, or something in that kind of realm.
Super beef.
Yeah, and I think that's just to fight the wind. I don't think there's a problem with that whatsoever. I usually don't switch to that. I'll switch to an overstable putter like a Cenas or a Slammer or something. Yeah. But
honestly,
that's only in dead headwinds for me, like really strong headwinds.
Yeah, and I won't even change up my putters.
Yeah.
Typically, what I will do is you will see me laying up a lot more putts.
Yep.
So if it's a headwind and I'm outside 40, 50, whatever, I still like to go for those because they're a lot easier to fight the wind, in my opinion, is putting them on the right line, and you just got to determine how much it's going to lift. But I love headwind putts. Now, if it's a tailwind putt, I'm probably laying those putts up all day because you just never know what it's going to do. How many times have you thrown a tailwind putt and it just hits off the basket, and as soon as you hit off the basket in that wind, you don't know what it's going to do, how far it's going to roll, the wobble. Yeah. The wobble roll is
it's the
worst.
Slowest wobble, and it's always like just so far away. Now back to a headwind putt.
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah, so there's absolutely playing in wind like that. There is no shame in laying everything up outside the circle.
So what's a major takeaway from playing his first big event?
It's up to you. I mean, I think a lot of people. My first event that I played, I shot one of my number one worst round ever, and then probably like my fourth worst round ever. And my takeaway was that tournament golf is so much different than casual golf.
Heck
like
yeah.
I would go play normally at my local park and throw the shots that I knew and be like, yeah, I'm good to go. And then I get into like where you have to shape shots and where you have to make putts under pressure, and it just feels totally different.
It does.
Totally.
So yeah. So
I like this new. Speaking of super chat, our new name is going to be Disc Golf Answer If You Pay the Man.
Perfect.
I like that. Pay that man his
Pay
money.
the money. Thank you for that. All right, so one more question. Oh, wait, did we decide on that rules one that we just can't figure that one out?
Read the question.
This is literally copy and paste. This is from Jordan. Do you think Rule 801.02F is needed? I would think that if players cannot identify their discs from each other's, the lost disc rule could fill in. And when you looked that up, you said it said something about TDs?
This is talking Rule 801.02F says a tournament official or official is a person who is authorized by the director to make judgments regarding the proper application of the rules during play. And it pretty much just talks about that. That's all there is to it. So, okay, if you're trying to decide between marked discs and two people have the same disc and neither of them are marked,
is he saying the TD should step in or shouldn't step in?
They can, but what he was saying is you could say the lost disc rule would take over, and it wouldn't because you have the discs in front of you.
Yeah.
So you would just have to decide, like, as a group, which one is which. Yeah. Both players are for the first throw with an unmarked disc, it's a warning.
You get a warning,
and for every time you throw it after that's not marked, you get a stroke. So if that happened and they decided whose disc was which and they signed them from there, they would both get a warning, but that would be it.
Unless you're playing with Kevin Babbitt.
What's that?
Because he's someone I used to play with all the time back in the day. And he would never mark his discs, like ever. So I just gave him infinity warning from here on out.
Yeah.
This is your warning.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Anytime we play together, you've already been warned about marking your discs.
Here's infinity warning, Kevin.
I gave it to him. So if you ever play with Kevin out there and he doesn't have a marked discs.
Sorry, did he have a reason behind it?
No, he's just lazy.
He's been warned.
He's already been warned.
He has been warned.
Albeit it was several years
20 years ago, but he's been warned.
So, yeah, Robert, you did commentary for the Disc Golf Pro Tour Idlewild.
Yeah, bro.
And things went really well. But since you got not really a front seat, but a digital front seat to all the action.
Yeah.
Describe to us how Idlewild went, how the players played the course and stuff.
Man, Idlewild
Spoiler alert.
I'll get to that in a moment. Idlewild is one of those courses that just looks so fun to play. And then I think when you're standing on it, you're like, okay, this is harder than I thought. I think that's what people...
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think watching people struggle on that course is proof enough that course is not easy to play.
Sure. I mean, I think
or
if you're...
as challenging as I picture it to be, whatever. But
like if you're watching a card struggle a little bit, you could be like, I could throw that gap. I think a lot of golfers, disc golfers, sit home and think...
a lot of...
why did he miss that putt? Why did they throw out of bounds? Mm-hmm. And I think it's just that much more difficult when you're throwing it, like in person.
Especially
hard.
if there's something on the line, which is everybody that you actually get to watch play. There is something on the line because they're playing very well in that event.
Yeah, and I mean they've got thousands of dollars hanging on each putt. Like that's just how it is. So anyway, the FPO side I think was the more exciting side to watch.
Drama for sure.
It was just back and forth with Katrina and Paige all day. Paige would get out in front, Katrina would match her, and then vice versa. Probably the coolest thing I saw all weekend was Paige's putts on 16, 17, 18. Namely the one on 17. She's probably 40 or 45 out.
What round is this?
Final round. She's tied with Katrina right at that moment. Putting for par, and the OB is like... I mean, it's no farther than 10 feet behind the basket. If she misses chain high on either side, instantly in the water.
That's the one with the crazy little creek and the OBs, weird OBs everywhere.
Yep, and immediate 6. And she just jams it from a straddle, just jams it, and then made another big putt from 25, 28, that kind of tester range on the last hole. To card the bogey to go to a playoff. The way that it ended was rough, man.
Yeah, I didn't like hearing about. Well, it was weird because I was, as you know, I super chatted you from the boat.
Yeah, nice.
But I was watching on UDisc on my phone, and I saw Katrina putting for par from 29 feet, or circle 1 is what it said, from circle 1, and then I refreshed and it says Katrina putting for bogey from circle 2. I'm like, what happened? What is going on?
Yeah, just an input error.
Oh, that was so sad to see.
But once you get to the playoff, I mean, Katrina threw not her best approach. But here's the thing: like, competitors want to win. Paige wanted to win that tournament. Katrina wanted to win that tournament. Yeah, I know. But it doesn't feel exciting to win that way. And spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but Katrina has to run that putt. She can't just lay it up. Paige's putter has been hot all day.
Yeah.
Just hits the cage and just takes off rolling.
Just missed it probably, a couple inches?
Yeah.
A few inches.
Yeah, 4 or 5. But then rolls like 80 feet. And so Paige can lay up at that point. And like that just wasn't an end befitting of the action before that. You know, like congratulations to Paige. I think she played well, and either lady that took the win that day would have deserved it because they crushed. Just Rough-Ritz in that way. And then on the men's side, but Kevin Jones just did stuff, man. He shredded out there.
Was there ever a doubt coming down the stretch? Like when he took that 5 and Conrad took the 3, and that cut it to like 3 or 4 strokes.
There was a couple holes back to back where he lost a stroke or 2 to James, and I was like, oh no, not this.
I was pulling for Kevin pretty hard.
Definitely,
I wanted to see Kevin win.
He doesn't have that big signature win up until this point. You know, he's won several A tiers, and he's been really close at some majors, namely the USDGC.
Well, including Idlewild last year.
Yep, he dropped from leading the tournament after 2 to like I think he tied for 5th. And so you're just hoping for that not to happen again. He stepped up and executed his game plan. Ended up taking the victory. So that was super cool.
Yep.
Couple of other stories from the weekend. Zach Arlinghouse tied for 8th in that field. Come on, man.
Yep.
That's so sick. And he didn't even putt that well. He putted really poorly and lost a few strokes in the first couple of rounds. And then the other one, Heather Young, 16-year-old, making the lead card and
Good for her.
And shooting one off of Katrina and Paige's pace on the final day. Like they both shot 3 over on the round. She shot 4 over with Madison.
Oh wow, I didn't realize that.
Yes, super cool stuff. So anyway, I think it was an awesome event. We had a great time commentating on it and a great time watching it.
Nice.
No, I was gonna say what my funny take, I guess, from the week was Madison's interview with Terry Miller, how she thought she was winning the tournament.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she interviewed with Terry, and she's like, I thought I was winning. Like, I thought I had the lead going into the last hole, and I'm like, just play conservative, just do it. And then she said, Vinny came up to her and said, you realize you're not winning, right? You're like in 3rd place. And I thought that was
Calvin, man.
And she just like, oh, whoops. And then like, I guess Paige, when she hit that big putt, she gave her knucks, and Paige said, yeah, I'm trying to win this thing. And then Madison was like, yeah, well, you're not beating me. Like, oh, joke's on you. You are beating me.
Dude, that's funny.
I thought that was hilarious.
That's funny.
Man, I talked to Madison a little bit after the event and just told her, like, man, it's been cool to see her rebuild her game basically from scratch after that wrist injury. Her backhand was really good and she putted really well, but I didn't hear that part.
That was funny.
That she thought she was winning.
Yeah, that was great.
Gotcha. All right, let's get back to the questions. This one's from Jesse. First of all, we don't condone this, Jesse, so but we'll give you our honest opinion. How do you hide your disc golf expenses from your significant other?
Get a new credit card.
Open a separate account.
Open a separate account. Yeah. You shouldn't hide things from your significant other.
I don't. I just
take that from a man recently divorced. You should. Should not hide things from your significant other. Yeah, no, dude, don't do that.
I mean, even before Shay and I were married, even when we were just dating,
things.
I was hiding everything. Right. Yeah, all my expenses. No, I think it's important to be upfront in your communication anytime. And if you disagree on something, that you can disagree and talk it out. But if, say, I was gonna buy a new bag and it was $400 at the time, and I ran it by Shay, and our expenses, say it was early in our marriage, so our expenses are combined, and she really didn't want me to. Probably a pretty bad idea for me to just do that.
Right.
So, yeah, don't hide it.
If you've got to figure out how to hide your disc golf expenses from your significant other, you need
to be with someone else.
You need to figure out how significant that other is.
That's right. That's right. Ooh, here's another one that I've done is, like, if I did want something, like in disc golf or just in general, I'll sell discs to get that money. So then it's a 1-to-1 trade. Like, no harm, no foul. So anyway.
Okay. All right, let's see. This one is from Thomas. How do you get your disc high when releasing without releasing the disc nose up?
Be tall.
Yeah, we don't know much about it.
No.
I think so following through high helps you to get the nose down just a little bit, but I would say it's hard to just throw a fully straight, 30-degree or 40-degree shot without the nose being somewhat up. It's never going to be perfectly level.
Yep.
The best way to throw those super long shots that are really high in the air that get the full potential is by throwing an anhyzer, right? When you throw an anhyzer, you can get the nose closer to down and still throw it really high in the air. That's probably your best bet at it.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Pretty much it's going to be nose up if you're throwing up anyway.
Yes, correct.
All right, we got a couple of speak pipe. There isn't very many speak pipe, but I wonder if we hit, because we only get 20 messages per month. So I wonder if we hit our limit. But here's a couple of them.
Hello, gentlemen. This is Corey from Grapevine, Texas, and I have a quick question for all of you, really, but maybe Eric can speak to this since he helped design the course in Flower Mound. But I noticed on where the tee pads are, it shows out of bounds, and so it's obvious that the river that is there and the sidewalks that it shows a red line on is out of bounds, and perhaps this will apply to other courses as well. But in several of the holes, there's like a drainage creek or some type of water that goes through, and maybe more at some times than others, and maybe sometimes there's none at all. But I'd love your thoughts on, is that type of a thing out of bounds? And also there's little drops, like little cliffs, so if your disc goes down in that direction, it may be 4 feet, 6 feet, 8 feet down some rocks, and so it's not marked on the signs as out of bounds. But I would love your thoughts if that should just be understood. So anyways, any help on that would be great. Thanks.
Yeah, typically in those situations, what's on the T sign is what you go by. Whatever is on the T sign is what's going to be OB, and if you're playing a tournament, it's whatever's in the rule sheet that's out of bounds. So, like for instance, at Glassbone Open, a lot of our T signs won't necessarily match what the actual OB is. So people they basically say your rule book is your Bible, so keep that on you at all times. That's what you go by. And at Flower Mound, I know exactly what you're talking about. There is a little drainage ditch that kind of comes through there. It drains off the softball fields. And sure, when it rains a lot, there could be some water flowing through there. But in an instance where there is water there, that's more than likely just going to be casual water as opposed to being out of bounds, because there's not always water in that, like little retention area. So it'd be hard to call it water out of bounds when there's only water in it, a month out of the year maybe. Yeah. So typically what you're going to want to do is read the rule sign, the T signs on each hole, and whatever is on that is what goes. And on some of those other holes that I know you're talking about with the cliffs and the drop-offs, it's not out of bounds, but you can play maybe lost disc or unplayable lie if you need to, but for the most part that's not out of bounds, and if you go down there it's just bad luck. It's kind of like De La Viega. There's a lot of holes there that have just, and I'm talking cliffs, not like Texas cliffs. They're full on like gorges,
like real cliffs.
Yeah, like an actual cliff,
not rolling hills.
Yeah.
Super chat from Short Girl is me, $10. She put on this super sticker. It says
number one
fan. Thank you so much, Short Girl is me. We appreciate that.
I don't know what I'm doing next. I'm teasing.
You were just watching the sticker dance around?
Yeah, dance the down. Is it a little chicken?
That is a pear.
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
A pear?
That is fruit.
Oh, I thought I saw a beak. Wait, up by...
That's the leaf.
What is that? The thing that the... No, at the very top where it says
That's
top...
a leaf.
It says top chat. Not the top of the sticker, but way up top. Oh, I'm looking at something different.
You're looking at the wrong thing.
I'm looking... No, I'm not looking at the
wrong thing. I know what you're talking about.
It's different on the admin side of things. Sorry, my bad. So... I am going to Music City Open. This will be my first time going to, not my first time in Nashville, Tennessee. Been there twice before, one time in the planning meeting for the stadium event out there, and then, of course, for the stadium event out at Nissan Stadium. But now I'm going to go with Derek. Derek is going to go out there. He's our sponsorship coordinator. He's going to kind of represent us, and he's taking a bunch of course flags and things to help pretty up the course. And I'm going out there to do some video stuff. There are some of our players that will be out there, so I'm going to do some video things with them and just have a good old time meeting people. So if you are listening to this and you're from the Tennessee area, come on out to the course. Do we know what's the name of the course?
I think Seven Oaks is one of the courses that they're playing, okay. But I think there's a couple.
Oh, okay. So if you're in the Nashville, Tennessee area and you know about the event, please come on out and shake my hand and say hello. I love meeting you guys, our listeners and all our fans and stuff like that. So I'm super excited and looking forward to it. Which course should I be? Is pretty wooded? You don't know?
You're asking the totally wrong
Eric, have
person.
you played the course?
Nah.
Oh, great. So,
I've played one of them. I think it was Seven Oaks. I don't remember.
Yeah.
If
I think I heard it's pretty wooded.
The one that I played was quite wooded.
Yeah, Seven Oaks is quite wooded.
Pretty wooded. Pretty wooded.
It's like
pretty wooded.
I played at Nissan Stadium there.
Was that pretty wooded?
It was
less wooded.
very rainy.
Rainy.
Yeah.
Lots of rain. Yeah.
And hot.
Do you think they'll play that in the event, the stadium?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The 9-holer.
That'll be the final
That's
nine.
the final 9.
Yeah. So anyway, if you come on out there, come by and say hello.
Trace in the chat says, surely I'm not the only one that says, meat. When I hear Derek Savory's
No,
name.
you're not. It still goes. It's still in my mind whenever I say Derek Savory. This is from PBZ. BPZ.
Nice.
What are your thoughts on tournament formats? For example, do you favor shotgun starts versus everyone beginning at hole 1? Does it matter if it's a sanctioned event, tour, or not? My local course in San Francisco hosts non-sanctioned tournaments where the number of players can reach 200, and they make everyone start at hole 1. You can wait 3 to 4 hours before you tee off?
Yeah, it's like tee times.
That sounds like tee times.
Or flex start.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it probably is flex. It's like a flex start C tier is what it sounds like a Friday flex start that Steve-O does down in Texas.
Oh, okay. It's non-sanctioned. So, okay. Well, anyway, okay. That sounds weird. But I guess if you know But is it just like show up and play type thing?
That's what sounds like.
That's what Steve-O does too. I mean, it's no different than the flex starts that we run at GBO. There's sometimes there's lines waiting for, just.
I guess I'm thinking you would want tee times. That way, if you don't.
It would make sense if you have over 200 people playing it consistently. You should start probably considering doing pre-registration and tee times for it. But as far as what my preference is, it depends on the event. But I love tee times. Yep. I would much rather have a tee time, and mainly because sure there's advantages and disadvantages to both. I feel like. Weather being a big component to that on if you tee off early and then it gets windy in the afternoon. But at the same time, if you're all playing at the same time and it gets windy halfway through that round and you were fortunate enough to start on the back 9 where the really hard holes are, that's the same similar concept, I guess. But just for me personally, I feel like it's a more professional feel when it's tee times and you get a start on hole 1 and there's typically an announcer. For me, it's a more professional feel that I like, I think. So that would be my personal preference.
Yeah, I like tee times better. I like the fairness of shotgun starts better.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, there's no perfect way to do it. One of the ones that I think of was Vegas 2 years ago. Joel Freeman, I think, ended up in second in that tournament and went off early the first day when the winds were regular winds like 15 or something like that, and later that afternoon they got up to like 40. Now he played great regardless, but there's just situations like that where the field can be in a little bit different spot depending on where you started or when you started rather.
Yeah, absolutely it can.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The next one comes from Brett. Will the Deputy be made in premium plastics again? I throw an Optopure that is extremely straight. I feel like a Moonshine Deputy will fly very similar, and classic plastic would beat in too quickly. Any suggestions would be appreciated, and thanks for keeping it real.
Well, you're in luck. We offer the Moonshine Deputy.
For the it used to be
Winter Marksman League.
That's what it was.
Yeah, now it's
a normal.
We've got a stock one.
Yeah.
We have stock stamp of those.
Pretty sure.
Let me check.
I thought they were TFRs at first, and then they were.
They were,
but you could be absolutely right.
All right.
Check.
Quick deputy search.
We have a misprint. A minsprint.
Moonshine Deputy, dynamicdiscs.com.
1999.
Classic blend deputy.
Scroll all the way down. There's a moonshine one. Like actual moonshine. Like lucid moonshine.
Like the lucid moonshine.
Oh, okay.
Not the one that you were looking at, probably.
Yeah, there's. Oh, okay. He wanted premium plastic. That's right.
That's premium plastic.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Check them out. So, yeah, do that. We've had some people ask for more availability on the lucid deputy. And I don't know. Maybe we'll do a special run of them or something. We'll see.
Maybe. So just another reminder,
also maybe not.
We do a lot of engagement and interacting on our Facebook page. So go to Facebook and look up Disc Golf Answer Man and join our group. If you're not a person that likes Facebook, I don't know what to tell you.
That's okay. What you can do, though, is subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Sure.
Probably, if you're listening to this live, you probably have already. Right. But if you haven't, click that subscribe button and ring the bell so that you can be notified when we go live.
Well,
not just when we go live. Commentator mode.
No, yeah, but all the videos we put out.
Yeah, like everything that we put out.
Well, I mean,
like trick shot videos.
Do we have those?
We have one from 2 years ago? 3
No.
years
Oh,
ago?
dude, that was at least
that was a long
that
time
was
ago.
Was it even more longer than that?
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Yes.
You should go watch it. It's good.
So, Eric, you have we were talking before we hit record, and you are rescheduled to go back, back or to return to Alaska?
Return.
To
Alaska.
for...
I thought we just went over that.
Oh, man. The 49th state. Wasilla area. It's kind of fish hook area. It's just north of Anchorage is where it is.
Uh-huh.
It's a place called Meyer Lake. Look it up. Meier Lake.
Mm-hmm.
Check out their Instagram page. They do a lot of really cool stuff. It's very unique place. It's a couple dudes from Palm Springs that have moved
Out in
up
Alaska,
there.
huh? Yeah. Wow.
They moved up there. They bought this old camp, and they've converted it into like a bed and breakfast, a wedding venue,
Nice.
and soon to be
awesome.
an epic disc golf course.
Yes.
Like, he's been sending me pictures of the progress,
Yeah.
the work that they've done, and oh my god, like, I am beyond excited to get back up there and just see it in person
Wow.
and do some cool video stuff. And do you want to go?
I would love to go.
Well, let's go. What are you waiting on?
Well,
Buy
I-
your tickets.
Okay, I can't.
Well, you can.
Oh, I could, I suppose.
Can I go?
Sure, if you want.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Buy your tickets.
Yeah, when are you leaving?
Yeah. The Monday after Pro Worlds.
Oh, I can't go.
So you'll be gone for a very long time.
Yes.
Yeah. Very long
A
trip.
very long time. But you can come up whenever. I'll be there already. I'll pick you up at the
Nice.
airport, all that fun stuff. But
Any-
no, it's going to be
anytime?
great. It's my first course in Alaska, obviously, and it's going to be a true like champion level / beginner level, because we're going to have 2 tees and they have 2 baskets.
That's awesome.
They've already purchased both baskets, so they're
Wow.
all there. So they're going to have 2 baskets on every hole, including one of my favorite holes I think that I've ever designed. It's going to be on a floating dock.
Ooh,
Whoa.
sweet.
It's about 200 feet into the lake, and there's going to be a floating dock out there. It's not necessarily floating because it's going to be in the ground. It's going to be like permanent, so it's not
Sure.
going to be like, wavy and all that. But and you're throwing uphill it's about a 300-foot hole, but it's about 220 to clear. But it's uphill with these big, beautiful mountains in the background, and it's just going to be one of those courses that you're going to be pulling out your camera on
Right.
every single hole, taking
Nice.
pictures, and it's just beautiful.
Now, you're going out there.
Is
go
the
ahead.
tee off the dock?
Tee is on the
Okay,
dock,
cool. Yeah.
You're going out there to just check on the progress, or
I'm going out there to
or the opening, or
They've got it's kind of a soft opening because they haven't plugged anything in the ground yet. They're waiting on me to come back to walk through and like, hey, this is exactly where I want it. They didn't want to like put ground sleeves in the ground and be like, well, that's not where we really wanted it.
Right.
So they're bringing me back out to walk the property again and show exactly where we're going to go and do kind of like a soft opening, like a meet the designer kind of thing, where they're going to have a day where they're going to come out. The first 50 people to come out are going to get a free disc.
Right.
Sweet.
And we're just going to have a great time
Can I get a free disc?
if you come.
Man, okay.
And you're one of the first 50.
Man. All of this is contingent on me going.
It is.
Yeah, there's,
And
a, lot,
it's
there's a lot riding on that.
it's gonna be. I mean, if you've never been, which you've never been, right? Neither
No,
one of you ever been.
I have not.
I've never been to Alaska.
Yeah, I mean, it looks
I want to
incredible.
go for sure.
It's-
When's their first event? Do you
It's
know?
amazing. It'll be next
tur-
year.
Next year,
Like
be first tournament.
the first big tournament, and I'm working on getting us
Maybe
up
that
there.
would be
and-
that would be.
Oh, absolutely. We
epic.
need to be there for
Yeah.
that because it's gonna be awesome.
Sweet.
That's cool. All right, cool. Well, good luck on that, and keep on designing them courses because we need more disc golf courses out there for people to play.
To play.
We just put out a blog article talking about disc golf courses and the fact that, in fact, if you like discussing all things disc golf, which I know a lot of you YouTubers do, like to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
Or watch and watch and watch.
Or
and
watch.
Both good.
We put out blog articles where you can actually engage and give your comments and stuff like that. But this particular one talked about how even though 18 hole courses are great, they are amazing.
Awesome.
But don't think just because you can't put out 18 baskets doesn't mean you can't put out a quality course.
Yeah.
You can create a 9-hole course and still use it to grow your disc golf community. Now, you're not going to get any championship level events happening there, but don't let that stop you. If you only have enough land for 9 holes, or you don't have quite the money to support an 18-hole course, don't think that a 9-hole course can't still help build your disc golf community.
Well, yeah, and not to mention not just I mean, just because it's an 18-hole or 9-hole course, that's not the limits anymore. You know, you can put in if you have room for 13 amazing holes, why not? Who cares? Just do it. Like, I mean, it's look at what's our most popular course in Emporia, Kansas. As far as you go to it, and there's always people there.
Probably Hammond, right?
Yeah.
Hammond Park, 9-hole course, easiest course you've probably ever played for most of our viewers, because it's pitch and putt for the most part. There's a couple lines you got to hit, but having those courses are just as important, or if not more important. That was really loud.
That was cool.
Are just as important, or not more important, than big championship level courses. Because I don't know how many times I've been hit up to come out to a city and put in a big champion course. The city wants to host big events and do all this. Well, they don't have anything disc golf related in the town, and they only have a small park, and they don't understand that putting a big championship level course is going to deter people from going and playing.
Right.
You know, you want to put in something beginner friendly that's super easy to play. That's very, very important.
Yeah, so don't be afraid of them 9-hole courses. All right, let's get back to the questions. This one from Marshall. Hey guys, my name is Marshall.
Hello, Marshall.
From Manhattan, Kansas.
I like your disc.
I was wondering if y'all had been up to Manhattan to play our courses. We have 2 to 3 highly rated courses, and was wondering your thoughts on them, Fairmont and Warner. Lots of players up here, would love to get your feedback. Also, good luck at Kansas City Wide Open, Robert.
Well, next year?
He could have used that before.
I cashed.
Next year.
Cashed.
Maybe he's talking about 2020.
Yeah.
He
For
said,
future Kansas City.
See you
Wide.
there. Thanks for all you do. So maybe,
Nice, man.
maybe you met Marshall.
Cool.
So, yeah, Manhattan, Kansas. Have you guys been to play at all?
I played there back in 98, probably 99.
wow.
I mean, it's been a very long time since I've played. And back then it was just Tuttle Creek was the only course I played. That was the craziest tournament I've ever played weather-wise. It was a severe thunderstorm/tornado rolled through.
And they let you play?
Well, they blew the horn, and we were on the middle of the course, and there was nowhere to go. So we went to this little pavilion, and we were hiding underneath it, and a guy's boat on a trailer blew by. It just happened to it was crazy. And after that was over, we went back and finished the round, and every single tee pad had 3 to 4 inches of water on it.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy.
Manhattan, Kansas. I looked it up. It's about 53,000 people.
It's big.
I didn't
it's where
realize
the
it
University of, or not University, it's the Kansas State University. That's where
okay,
K-State
that makes
is.
sense, so.
Straight north. I mean, it's not that far from us either.
I may have to go visit the play because there's actually a few ladies on the dating apps that I have on.
Is that right?
That are from Madison or Manhattan.
Madison?
Kansas. Not Madison.
Madison is closer.
Yeah, Madison was closer. This next one is from Noah. I had a disc hyzer and land straight on an asphalt path.
You hate to see it.
This left a decent scrape even with premium plastic. Is there anything you guys do to smooth these scrapes? Sandpaper, pocket knife, etc.
Put down some turf on the asphalt path.
Then you won't get those as much.
There you go.
On all the asphalt that you're going to play that day, walk out first. Put them. No.
Yeah.
I'll use a little bit of sandpaper if I think it's really, really bad.
I won't.
But most of the time, I just throw it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like a little roughness
Yeah.
on the disc. I don't mind it.
It's not
It's
gonna
like Ron Con made a comment the other day about washing his discs in the tub. How do you wash yours? I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, I leave them in the bag.
Just play like a man.
I like character on my discs.
Character.
Makes me feel like a man.
Like a man. I feel like a man. I invite you guys to stay tuned with us for the after show because we have a couple of questions that I asked on the Facebook group and one I asked for our giveaway. We did a zero medium sinus. I've said that word how many times, but I looked at it and said sinus. Sinus giveaway. We had 153 people submit for that. This was one of our subscriber secret giveaways. I call them secret because I don't say anything other than post an episode that is time sensitive. I gave you guys over the weekend to download, listen to the episode, go to the page, and fill out our little questionnaire. And that'll be something we discuss on the after show. We discuss a little bit of disc golf, a whole lot of tacos.
Yeah.
Andy B says, hey, Disc Golf Answer Man crew, question for Eric.
What's up?
We have a local course, which is huge, 10,000 feet, heavily wooded course. It takes
Holy
4.5 hours to play 18, and it's a little unfair, but it's still young. I want to make it more appealing to AM players, so my idea is to use the existing tees and add shorter and more fair pins. Most courses have 2 to 3 tee pads with 1 pin location. Do you know any courses with 1 tee location and two pin locations for each hole? Do you think that is a good idea?
Jones West, Jones East, Peter Pan, for the most part, for
Yep.
years was like that, where we had two pin positions that we would move the pins as opposed to. As soon as we started running more events, we started putting. Well, Junior Worlds was the big key in that. Us putting in the shorter tees. It's tough. I mean, personally, I this is probably the easier route to go. The easiest suggestion I have for you is honestly shorter tees. Because think about it. If you put short pins in, then you're only kind of helping out the beginner friendly part of it that are coming out and playing. Then you're making the course super easy for the more experienced players. If it's a 10,000 foot course through the woods and it gets a lot of play, I mean, you've probably got some pretty good players playing that course. The reasoning coming in and putting in shorter tees is people come in, they have the option.
Yeah.
Do I want to play the long tees today, or do I just want to go play the short tees today?
Where you're going with that, but that makes a lot more sense.
That's why
yeah.
I think shorter, and it's easier, it's cheaper. You don't have to worry about coming in and moving baskets unless you're talking about
permanently. Yeah.
2 pins on every hole, which you can do as long as you do it right and like not have one in the middle of the fairway for the short pin. Because most people are gonna, if they're coming out and play the longs, it's gonna be an obstacle. It's just gonna be a little weird. So my suggestion is always just, do both if you can, but I definitely would recommend, if you have a choice between one or the other, shorter tees.
Now, what if money's is a hindrance because they don't have
if
money
money's
for
an issue,
cement,
then
definitely tees.
Then
definitely tees. Yeah.
Because you can just put markers in the ground for the time being.
That's true.
Plus,
until you can fundraise for concrete.
Yeah.
Plus, with the different tee pads, you can actually have an event where 2 different division levels play because they just will go to the different.
Not to mention, you just turned your 18-hole course into basically 2 courses with 2 tees. If you play a tournament, you can come in and play the first day on the shorts. Next day, you play the longs.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're so smart.
Yeah.
You should design courses.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll look into that
Consider
later
it. And see you later.
Oh, no, not right now.
We'll talk about one in Alaska.
Not right now. Yeah, not right now. Yeah. You should go to Alaska and
I'll do
design
that.
courses. Phil says, I love the retro Keystone from the Trilogy Challenge. What is a more durable plastic that will keep the same stability?
The what?
Retro Keystone.
The Lucid Deputy.
Not wrong.
Moonshine Deputy. Lucid
Well,
Moonshine
that's true,
Deputy.
yeah.
Also not wrong.
There you go. We just looked it up and we have some.
We do.
Yep.
But if you've played one of the match plays, there are Moonshine Lucid Keystones out there as well.
There are.
If you can get a
And
hold
they're
of one of
blue.
those, you're
And
going to
they're
like that.
Blue, and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure that there will be
Yeah.
some, after the Trilogy challenges are over, there'll be some
Oh, there'll be some
premium
floating
plastic
around.
ones coming around.
Show.
Well, not just that, but I'm sure that they'll release.
For sure.
yeah.
It's a pretty popular mold.
Hey, while we're talking about...
Hey,
listen.
Hey.
While we're talking about discs from the match play, there is a diamond in the rough that we have some of still that you guys need to check out, and it's the Gold Burst Explorer. We don't have them. Oh, and Maverick too, right?
Fusion Burst.
Mavericks,
Both
Fusion
of those.
Burst Maverick, yeah. For me, the one that I'm using the Gold Burst Explorer for like my really straight Explorer. It is fantastic. So, and they're not available in stock stamp. They're only available in Gold Burst, and right now they're $11.99 on the website.
That's stupid.
So if you haven't checked them out, this is a perfect time to do that.
Or
it
if
is
you've-
one of my go-to fairway drivers.
Or if you've just been wanting to try out the Explorer, it's kind of what you're saying.
Do it for cheap.
And they're good. They're really good. I'd definitely go right now.
You're gonna like it.
Right now.
All right, let's. We've got our last little speak pipe. We still have other questions, but this is the last speak pipe. Let's listen to Mike.
5 stars.
Hello, Bobby CoolDaddySlickBreeze. Eric, I don't know if you're going to be in the studio or designing courses, McCabe.
I'm here.
And Robert, this call is for you, McCall. I just wanted to take a quick second to call and thank you all, first off, for all you do. I've listened to every episode for the past year and a half since I started disc golfing. I've learned so much from you guys. So a big general thank you to all of you for everything you do, and Danny and Anthony and all that are involved in all the media and everything.
Hey,
But
Mike.
I have to give a personal shout out to Mr. McCall on this one, because I just got done playing a round, literally just got done, which is why I'm a little out of breath. And I'm the one who called about the AVR X3 and what was closest to that. And one of the discs recommended by Robert himself was the harp. I came out with my brand new harp, taking his advice, And on the first throw ever
Aced it.
with the harp, I hit an ace.
Nice.
So thank you, Robert.
Let's
That is
go.
only my second ace ever.
Dang.
The other ace was with the AVR X3. So the harp is already taking it out of the bag. So thank you so much, guys. Keep up the great work.
Nice.
Awesome.
Do you think he retired that hard
Congrats, man.
as a 100% disc?
He probably just retired altogether.
When you retire
After
that
the
disc,
ace.
though,
Dude, your first throw, you throw it in?
100%.
I'm hanging that up,
I've
yeah.
never not aced with this disc. That's going on the wall, right?
100%.
Yeah. All I've ever thrown with that disc
Is an ace.
is an ace.
That disc
So
has
if I
never
ever
touched
just-
the ground.
So if I ever decide to throw it again, I mean, probably going to ace.
Right.
But I'll never know because it's up on the wall.
Right, because it's up on the wall.
That's awesome, man.
That's
That's,
cool.
super
Yeah.
duper cool.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
Mike.
All right, this one's from Noah. I had a disc hyzer and land straight. Oh, I already did that. Sorry, Noah. Andy B. Hey, Disc Golf Answer Man Crew, question for... I already did that one, too.
Hey.
I really need to scroll up on my page. Kyle G. I've been playing for about 3 months now. Had some pretty quick initial progress and finished second in my local Trilogy Challenge.
Nice.
But I'm really struggling as I add more power to my tee shots. I find that my mids, like the Gatekeeper / Warship, are flipping over on me pretty constantly. But when I try to slow them down for my form... When I try to slow them down, my form seems to suffer, particularly from early releases. Do you have any advice or drills for taking power off a shot without losing good form?
EMAC Truth.
If you throw
It's
that.
2 discs in one.
If you throw that.
It's great.
Honest to goodness, that's one of the most difficult things to do is throw a shorter shot still with good form. And I think one thing that is really helpful to remember is just because you're slowing everything down doesn't mean you shouldn't still accelerate, right?
Follow through still.
Yeah, you have to accelerate. You have to follow through. And so a lot of times when I'm throwing putter approaches, I'm not going to shorten my follow through. I'm going to shorten my backswing. So if I shorten that just a little bit, that helps me to still be able to follow through, but not have quite the power that I was going to before. That's the way that I work on that. If you don't accelerate on a shot, you're just not gonna throw a good shot. That's just how it is. What do you say?
That's true. I would. Yeah, that's good advice. Actually, that's really good advice.
Nice, I did it.
Yeah.
Wow, you gave that guy the harp. You just gave good advice.
I'm 2 for 2 on advice today, guys. I'm gonna hang that up on the
You're
wall.
doing good.
Never
You're
give
gonna retire?
never give advice again.
So I know we talked
We're on a
about.
tough show for that then.
Sorry, guys.
I know we talked about Jones Gold and we're excited about everything like that. But I want to know, Eric, what goes into taking 2 courses and turning them into a Safari style course? And Safari, my understanding is, in other words, so not every hole is totally different, but
Correct.
hole 1 may be a combination of hole 1's tee and hole 3's basket, right?
That'd be a really bad hole, Bobby.
I'm talking like in
Yeah,
general.
what the heck,
not,
Bobby?
Oh, okay.
Not
okay.
just for our
Okay,
course. I'm talking
sorry.
about in general.
Turn straight to the left. Throw over all the trees.
Right. And so maybe hole 7 on East course has now become hole 3 for Jones Gold. So it's kind of like you're combining them in a way. But what goes on your mind when you see that? How do you figure out what works and what doesn't work as far as what can be combined and
It's
all
a good
that?
question.
That's why I asked it.
I know it's really good. Who asked it?
I did.
Oh, dang it!
Robert did. He's 3 for 3 now.
Hey, you're welcome. Hang me up.
Do you want to answer it?
Time to retire. No, I'm good. Thank you. No.
It's a good question. What I do for Jones Gold at least isn't necessarily look at particular holes or like, oh, I want to do this hole. I want this hole. It's more or less looking at Jones Park as a blank canvas and just designing a course on that piece of property. Because there is a couple holes that you wouldn't want to play if there's a bunch of people playing like Jones West, because a couple of the holes may go backwards, or you're utilizing a tee pad throwing the opposite direction, something along those lines. So, but it was a little tricky with Jones Gold because I wanted to utilize current tees and current pins, which we successfully did 99%, which means we have to pour 1 tee pad. Well, technically 2, because there's 1 tee pad I'm not very happy about, but we got to pour 1 new tee pad for the course, and that's because up until now, Jones Gold has just been a course that we went out and played casually.
Yeah, for
so
fun.
we could throw over the top of tee pads or around playgrounds because it was just us, and if there's nobody on the playground, it's fine, kind of thing. And I know that's usually a big red flag. You never want to throw anywhere near a playground, which you don't for Jones Gold, so we're fine there. But being a small community, we're blessed to be able to do a lot more safari stuff. And for Jones Gold, it was really very easy for me to design the course because a couple reasons. One, it's an absolute beautiful canvas.
Yeah,
lots of
nice
elevation.
park. Yeah.
Lots of natural OBs and all that. So that part was really easy. Two, I grew up in Jones Park. I literally grew up a block from Jones Park. So I spent all my childhood in Jones Park, even before there was disc golf there. So I know every inch of that property. So I knew I can just sit here and think about a new course if I want to design there, and I could do that relatively easy.
Right.
I don't recommend going out and doing like a lot of safari play if your course is very popular. You know, kind of like I talked about it earlier. While Emporia is getting bigger on the disc golf scene, it's not like if you go to Kansas City and go to Rosedale Park, it's almost impossible to play. You're going to be waiting on every hole.
Yep.
So you don't really want to play safari at a course like Rosedale because there's people everywhere. It's unsafe.
Right.
You're going to be a jerk.
Yeah.
Around here, you can kind of get away with that because there are times I go to Jones East, not as much anymore, but a couple years ago, we could go to Jones East and have the course to ourselves.
Yep.
Like nobody's around, which is great now that it's getting more popular and we're having more and more people come out and play. I think that's awesome. So, but does that kind of answer your question? It was pretty easy to do for me because it was basically just designing a brand new course.
Yeah, but definitely something to be careful about if you aren't going to be the only people out there.
Exactly. And I saw a couple. I think it was Hammond Park that somebody put in a gold course for Hammond, and I'm like, let's not advertise this. Hammond Park is supposed to be for beginners. It's not supposed to be throwing from. I think one of the holes is like hole 2's tee, or no, hole 1 to hole 2, something like that. It's like
crossing a road, by some houses.
Yeah, and then they got the playground in there. It's just some of that. If you want to play a gold course, literally walk across the street and play a true championship gold course.
Championship.
And so here's the deal. The thing is that, and I'm about to keep it real. We haven't done the effect. Give me the effect. Wait, but you got to make sure it's on my mic.
Are you on 3?
No.
I am on 3. We about to keep it
What?
real. Ooh, wait, go to 16.
I can't see
We about to keep it real. Thanks, sir.
It's kind of a modified keep it real.
Right.
Half
So,
keeping it real.
what I implore you disc golfers, if you see a course and you're like, this would be great to be a safari hole or anything like that, and it puts any kids or anybody out at the park in danger, don't do it, because we want the sport to grow, but it's not going to grow if the headline reads, disc hits kid in the head at local park, and they find out they're not even playing it the way they're supposed to be playing it. Then the parent, for obvious reason, gets mad, goes against the disc golf, gets the disc golf course taken off the park, and all because you wanted to throw a hole that wasn't intended to. So please keep that in mind. For most parks, they started out as a regular park, and then they became a disc golf course. So you are a visitor to that. Mm-hmm. Even so, you guys are sharing a park. You've got to mutually enjoy the grounds together. Don't ruin that. Don't think just because it's a disc golf course and there's a lot of disc golfers out there that you have any right to overtake the park. It's their park just as well.
Right. And while we're on that subject, if there's somebody having a picnic in the middle of your fairway, maybe just don't play the hole.
Right.
Or maybe what I've done in the past is approach them and kind of explained to them where they are and they may be in danger.
Right.
Don't be rude about it. Don't yell at them. Especially don't yell at them from the tee pad if they're down by the basket. You can't yell at somebody from that far away and sound
tactful.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
that is correct.
All right, we got a couple more questions. Let's get these through the questions, and we'll do our after show.
Them away.
We'll talk about some skip ace, and
I just go grab their picnic basket and run.
And as they run, you run back to the tee and throw.
Exactly.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Are you done?
Sorry for interrupting.
I'm teasing. We're going to be talking skip ace and a couple of questions, and maybe we'll hear from Johnny V, who just signed in on the after show. But let's go to binge the disc. Yo, so I be swagging my fair. Oh, wait. Let me start over.
I'm ready.
Yo, so I be swagging my way up the fairway with an enforcer. And I'm assuming
he's from New York.
I'm assuming the way he worded this, swagging, he wants me to say it like this. With my enforcer, and don't know a dog grabbed it and it took it into the river. I don't swim. What do I do? Is it a penalty stroke?
Wait.
Thanks for keeping it real and keep it swaggy. That was a little bit of like a.
That was like
a cartoon.
That was like West Side Story.
I know.
Like
So, binge disc. I apologize if you're
Pesci?
offended. I was just having fun.
Yeah, there
he
you
did
go.
say, "Yo, so I be
What is he,
swagging."
8 heads in a duffel bag.
He literally said, "Yo, so I be swagging." So I figured he wanted me to do
Doing
it.
Home
a little
Alone.
bit of-
So I be swagging.
So I'd be swagging. So anyway, so what happens? He throws in his forcer. He doesn't know the dog. It grabs it and puts it in the river. Do I get penalized because a dog grabbed my disc?
The
No.
dog actually gets penalized.
Yep.
Does it?
Yep, penalty
You get a
stroke for the
stroke.
dog.
Stroke for the dog.
Give me your
Yeah.
card. Do you have your card? Let me mark it on your card.
Dog rating goes down. It sucks.
Play
No.
otherwise.
Well, if you're playing casually, just go find the disc and try and put it back.
But he doesn't swim.
Well, if you're playing casually and the dog put the disc in the water, then you're down a disc unless you're trying to swim. But if this were to happen in a tournament, your card would go back and try and determine as close as they could where your disc came to rest, because that's where you play it from.
This has happened in tournaments too, by the way.
Yeah, for sure.
Remember those videos back in the day, the DVDs that came out, like Cool Shots and Hot Shots? You
Yeah.
remember those?
Yeah.
There was one on there. I remember, I think it was a coyote or a fox picked up someone's disc and was running around the fairway with it.
Isn't that just insane? You had to wait for the DVD to
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah. Do you remember? Have you seen that golf footage, like golf, where the seagull picks up the dude's disc and drops it in the water?
The ball?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, the ball.
Starts
Yeah.
flying away.
No, I
and
didn't.
up.
Yep. Bloop.
See you
And
later.
I'm
They
not
just-
sure what that rule is, but I know in golf you have to finish the hole with that same ball.
Shut up. Really?
Yeah, you have to finish the hole with this ball you started on, or you get a stroke penalty. And I know
So what
that
did he do?
I don't know. I don't remember. But I do know this rule because I
Wow.
don't remember who it was, but the guy was marking his ball on the green, and it was an island green, and he threw the ball to his caddy. His caddy did not catch said ball. Ball landed in the water, and his caddy got in the water to find that ball to finish that hole.
Gosh.
So he didn't get
That's
stroked.
crazy.
I knew that in golf you're supposed to start and finish the hole with
The
the
hole.
same ball.
Yep.
I think there's an exception. Like
I
if-
would assume
if you
there's a-
dunk it in the water, you don't have to go swim it.
Well,
but
that's the stroke.
yeah.
That's the stroke. It's not. There's difference. Like in golf, there's water hazards, and then there's what's the other one? Lateral hazard.
I know
or-
what you're talking about. Yeah.
But no, like you can get in the water and hit the ball out,
If you wanted to.
and it's not a stroke.
Huh. I wouldn't
'Cause
have known that.
yeah, that's technically what the rule is, I
Cool.
believe.
It's
So-
interesting. Speaking of other sports, I tried a new one last Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Pickleball.
Tried my hand at pickleball.
Oh, nice.
I had a good time.
Did you?
Yeah, I want to go back. There was some. Apparently, there was a group of pickleball players that play there.
There's a
And-
lot of people that play pickleball over at Hammond.
Yeah, and the group me and Dixon went out there, and the group I was there with was probably in their 60s.
Did you beat them?
No, they schooled me.
Was one of them Patrick Worley?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
So anyway, it was a good time. Had a good time. I want to play some more. But if you play pickleball, give a little thumbs up or a little something.
Give
wave.
a little pickleball emoji on the
Yeah,
ball.
on the YouTube chat board because it's pretty fun. I like it because it gets you. You're moving, you're having competition, and I want to learn. I got a couple good shots in. I was learning it, but
It's hard.
the biggest thing is that I'm thinking tennis, so I hit it too hard. Where in pickleball, you just want to dink it.
It's a smaller court,
Right.
correct?
You're right. It's like half the size, and there's different, there's the kitchen, the service areas, and stuff like that. So you have to cook up a few things for your opponent. No. No. I was like, where's he going with this? It's actually called the kitchen.
Yeah.
But you can't step in the kitchen while you're hitting it unless it bounces. There's all kinds of things, but you just want to barely lob it over the
net.
and then one guy told me, he said, hit it toward their feet because then it's like you can't
Yeah.
get in there to hit it back. So
Not at their face.
It's
you can if you want, but if you hit it too high, they can slam it.
Ooh, right back in
So-
your face.
Yeah,
Or
as
your
long as
feet.
they're outside the kitchen.
Right, as long as you're outside the kitchen.
Yeah, pickleball's
Grilling
like,
up a burger.
Yeah, it's like a mix between ping pong and tennis, kind of.
Yeah.
I like
It's super
ping pong.
fun.
It's fun. I want to play some more.
Yeah.
All right, last question of the episode. Then we'll head over to the after show and get talking on some stuff. Emil, I can throw a driver nice and flat with the nose down about 370, 380. But when I throw a mid-range, it flies nose up. That's kind of the same with that other guy. Big fan of the EMAC Truth and the show from Norway. So what's going on? Why, when he throws the mid-range, is it going nose up, do you suppose?
It's just mid ranges.
That's what he said. Yeah,
Yep.
he says nice and flat, but when I throw a mid-range, it flies nose up.
Huh. Man, I don't have a good answer for that.
Maybe he's ripping it extra hard too.
Yeah,
I mean, you could tone back on mids a little bit and get good flight out of them still.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You might try as counterintuitive as it sounds. You might try following through a little bit higher. Usually, that tends to bring the nose closer to level. But why that would happen with just a mid range, I don't know. If it was just drivers, that would make a little bit more sense because you're probably trying to throw it super hard. But yeah,
Not sure.
I'm not sure. Yeah, why? So like putters and drivers are both good, but
He just said drivers. He didn't say putters.
just mid ranges. You said
Drivers nose down, mid ranges nose up, but he didn't say anything about putters.
Huh.
I would
He doesn't
assume
know
it's
putters.
yeah,
maybe, I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with your grip too.
yeah.
I don't know. That's
Drivers,
interesting.
you would obviously be doing a run up, but maybe not necessarily mid range would be doing run ups.
Well,
So it's hard to
could be
know without
both.
him saying
Yeah.
what's going on. So
Yeah.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. We appreciate you listening on the regular show. We're going to take a quick little break, and we're going to discuss the question we brought up for our giveaway on this Zero Medium Sinus. Is that if you were in charge at PDGA, what course requirements would you have for NT events? We got 153 responses. Plus, on the Disc Golf Answer Man Facebook page, I asked people if disc golf, when you're running doubles, anyway, Calli.
Yeah.
If you're doing Calli, I want
What is it and
what is
what
it
rules?
and what are your rules? So we're going to discuss that and talk about our fantasy disc golf skip ace results from Idlewild. You might be surprised how well we didn't do, and you probably won't be surprised.
Before you go away,
Yes.
do you remember Kevin? Actually, shout out Kevin. He's upstairs watching.
Oh, yeah.
But just sent me a link to I think it was the Trilogy Up Now with Chris Eads. Remember when he threw that shot on hole 9 Jones West and the dog came and picked
yes.
it up? Remember that? It's
Yep.
on footage. We
He
got
just
footage
sent
of
it.
it. So
That's
it happened.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. That was on hole 9?
9 Jones
Yep.
West.
I remember. And
Keep going.
Go.
it was like Pax Yorder Pax
Porter, yeah.
Porter Yaks. Yorder Pax.
You think this fella's name is Yorder?
I was stumbling because I couldn't.
Just kidding.
No.
Spoonerisms are always funny because they're always unintentional.
No.
Like that's very good.
Anyway, I
great.
remember he quickly showed everybody where it was at because he knew it was like everybody's going to wonder because obviously everybody was down by the
That was funny.
T-pad. So
Thanks, Kevin.
yeah,
Appreciate
thanks,
that.
Kevin. All right, now we're going to go and we'll see you for the audio people. We'll see you tomorrow. For the YouTube people, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Anthony, you ready?
What are we doing? Oh. Zinger. Welcome to the after show. Absolutely no copying of any other after shows that are out there.
Yeah, never even heard of it.
Never even heard of it.
That's not true. I have.
We are the first ones to do it.
We got a super chat.
Super chat.
CF3 coming in with a $9.99 super chat. He says, for Robert finally acknowledging super chats on live coverage. Wanted to leave it on here to make sure Disc Golf Answer Man got the money. Great work. Thanks, CF3. I appreciate that. I'm going to tell you, we didn't really think about doing that ahead of time. I was just on the chat watching the broadcast. They started coming through, and I was like, man, if people are donating to live disc golf coverage that they're getting for free, I feel like they should be encouraged to do so. I feel like they should be recognized for that. And so it just started happening, and then I just stuck with it. So
It was good.
anyway, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate that. So one thing I find odd, right now there's 217 concurrent viewers, but we only have 35 likes.
Bro, come on.
Is it that hard to click the like button?
Come on. That was my best Eric Oakley. Was that good?
Please tap on the thumbs up, give us a like, so we can get we can hack those algorithms.
Hack 'em.
Hack them. All right, so I did put out there. So if I know, I'll explain it again. I release temporary episodes where they are only out there for anywhere from a day to 2 days to 3 days, and I give away a disc. You have to be a subscriber to our audio to win these discs. And you have to listen to the episode to know how to win the disc. So make sure you have notifications turned on your podcast app. Make sure you are subscribed so you get all the episodes, and make sure you enter the win. So this one I gave away a 0 medium sinus. And I asked a question.
It's sinus.
Oh, and I asked a question. I said, if you were in charge at PDGA, what course requirements would you have for NTs? And I'm going to read a few of these, and we're going to discuss these. Somebody said video coverage, commitment from 3 top 10 players of each gender to play, payout in the top 2% of all tournaments.
What?
Pardon me, what?
What was the last part?
Payout in the top 2% of all tournaments.
Oh, like the NT tournaments are their payout is in the top 2% of all. Okay. It sounded for a second like they meant only the top 2% get paid out.
Wow, that would be crazy.
That's not great.
That'd be some good money.
Only a few people.
So let's speak about that. A lot of people say, well, there's kind of varying. Some people think we pay out too wide,
Too much.
right?
Other people think we don't pay out enough.
And other people think we don't pay out too enough.
I
People think those.
more people think we pay out too much.
Yeah,
I think.
I sometimes think we do, but I understand that people have to have an incentive to take a break from their job, leave their family when they're not really professionally doing disc golf. They've got to have a way to justify it. And if they can at least say, oh, okay, at least I paid for my expenses was a little bit more cash.
Or these people are battling for last cash at times, playing their best game to finish toward the end. Will those people even play?
I don't know.
If you're only paying out.
So what about the top heavy theory, where if we were a little more paid more to the top people, that would bring out more top talent?
No,
you don't think that's?
I think the top talent is out there.
Yeah,
I mean, taking off that little bit from the bottom and putting it on the top isn't going to do anything different for our sport.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
Yeah. Anybody in the YouTube chats giving their opinion on it?
No, not really. Not about the percentages. I mean, I think the thing that's most important that we're overlooking all the time is baskets. Like there is a standard. Sometimes it's followed, sometimes it's not. But man, can we get like championship level baskets on every course that is at an A tier and above? Because that is like, look, man,
I played a major less than a year ago on Mach 3s.
That's absurd. That should never ever happen. Anyway,
nothing against Mach 3s either. Okay, everything
for
against
me,
Mach 3s.
a lot against Mach 3s. It's just the way that current baskets are, that the top level championship baskets are. We should find a way to get those in at A tiers and above.
And they're not perfect either. Don't think that just because it's a top, like a disc catcher or a veteran or anything like that they're perfectly catching baskets. They catch 20 times better. Don't get me wrong, but every basket out there is going to spit no matter what. We were throwing something into something.
Right.
Freak spit outs are going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
Someone said must have tunnel shot or over a body of water. Need to encourage risk reward play.
Hey, risk reward play is good.
Must have a tunnel shot or over a body of water. Needs to encourage risk reward play. I mean, that's fair enough.
We have
I guess.
both those at the country club, and people still complain about it.
I mean,
right?
Yeah. The thing, I do think there needs to be maybe not a distance minimum, but just like a course difficulty minimum, like an SSA from years past. I don't know.
So we sort of had this next comment. We sort of had a poll on YouTube where we asked people what do they prefer as far as how OB should be marked.
Yeah, right.
If this person, if David was in charge, he would say he would normalize OB marking. Doesn't matter how long as it's standard. So what are your guys' thoughts on that? If a PDGA picked a certain way to mark OB and they said, in order for you to be an NT, they all have to be this way.
I think they should do that.
Yeah.
I think there's no question that they should step up and do that. If they're our governing body, they own the rules.
Yeah.
Granted, some events don't play by the rules. Some events change the rules.
Right.
So it's kind of a gray area there, but they absolutely should do that. I think that's something that the rules committee should look at doing.
Does the Disc Pro Tour, I know they have standards on, is it still 4 baskets that you're your course is supposed to have. Now I know some courses don't.
Supposed to, but it was funny that they said that, and then the very first event didn't follow
right.
that.
But do they don't have a standard for marking OB, right? As long as it's marked OB.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not. Remember the what event was that? San Francisco?
Yep.
With the railroad tie?
The railroad tie that was out.
Mhm.
That was the Pro Tour finale last year.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that was
No,
Jacksonville.
To Sexton?
Yes.
That was Jacksonville. I thought that was
Jacksonville.
San Francisco. Oh, you're right. You're right.
The thing at San Francisco this year was the wall and the string.
Right, that's right.
Yep.
And to clarify, this isn't a bash on PDGA per
Yes,
se.
it is.
No, it's not.
Listen.
We're just saying if you were curious, what would you implement if you were in charge of the PDGA? This person says, Nick says, must be spectator friendly and must have live coverage capabilities.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, but there are a couple courses that aren't very conducive to, and they're
Beaver State is one of those.
right, and it's kind of been around for a long time, and a lot of people like that event.
He's talking about live coverage.
Yeah, what if that happened? What if they looked at Beaver State and said, you can't be an NT, you can't be a...
Look at the USDGC. When was the last time they did live coverage?
Yeah.
Long freaking time.
What, is that because
No, it's not because of coverage.
It's not because of cell signal.
No.
they opted not to?
They
to
just
invest,
don't do it.
Yeah, and then do they invest more into the post-production?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do or not, but...
Yeah, I don't know either.
But that would be interesting if a court. I mean, what if that became the rule where you had to have live coverage, and then you had an event like Beaver State that now?
See, I think we're a little far from that still.
Right.
Forcing events to pay that fee, because some events can't afford that. And like you said, Beaver State comes to mind. Santa Cruz comes to mind. There's just not very good coverage out there, so it's spotty at best, and then you get people complaining about it. So the best thing to do is just post-production.
Top half of field gets paid. Where's it at now? How deep you have to go now as an NT?
40% is the minimum.
Oh, so he's saying pay more.
Yeah, I don't like it.
That would be stretch it out. That would be.
Yeah, hold on. Johnny in the chat says USDGC had live last year. But
What one hole?
It was hole 17 live where they had a live show where
That's
they
not-
talked about
that's
what was
not
going
the
on, but
live.
it wasn't.
Oh, that was just
Whole
last
for
year.
whole coverage. Yeah, that was.
Was
last
that
year.
JT
Was that sarcasm,
and,
JVD?
or Justin
Bieber?
Yeah, Jamie Thomas and
Avery
when they did that show.
Yep.
Okay, I thought it was. It feels like that was longer ago.
Was last year.
Was that sarcasm
I don't know.
from JVD?
I don't know.
Joe says that he would want an island hole on the last 3 holes. Every course, you would have to redesign your course to have water,
Nah.
even if it didn't.
That doesn't have to be water to be an island hole, but
That's true.
I like one island hole.
Yeah.
I think one's good, but you don't want to end on a bunch of
Yeah,
islands. That just gets a little too gimmicky.
As long as
maybe,
it's a fair enough island, I'm down.
for 3 of them in a row to finish.
The last 3 all have to be island holes.
You're down with it?
I'm not down with that. No. I'm just saying for one island hole.
Yeah.
Jeez, I lost my place. Hold on, sorry. Oh wow, I would make a minimum/maximum percent of holes backhand dominant and forehand dominant, 30% to 55% for each type, with everything else labeled as neutral or both friendly. I mean, even if you created a hole that was perfect for a forehand shot, you're still gonna have somebody that can try or will backhand because they'll just get the right disc and throw it the right way.
Well, you have players like Conrad that
just
throw putters turnover on forehand holes and ace it.
Yeah, that was sick. Also, how about him shaving his beard?
That's crazy.
That was awesome.
Someone said earlier in the regular show, they said, can't believe we didn't talk about Conrad's beard.
Dude, he's the man. Tim with the $1.99 super chat. He was dropping them all the time during Idlewild coverage. He said, Robert, thanks for the coverage of Idlewild. Tim, I appreciate that. I was certainly not the only person at it.
You were that was you? You did the coverage?
I did commentary this weekend. Did you hear about that?
No, he said that thanks for the coverage. You did all that.
I did it.
You did all the coverage.
He went out and filmed it,
right from Hero.
recorded it.
You guys don't know this, but
I'm giving you. Just
I'm
giving you crap, Tim.
multi-talented. I can film and talk at the same time. I can't. But
Certainly
anyway.
can't follow a script.
Yes. What? Anyway, Tim, thanks for the 2. Yeah, it was super fun, man. I had a great time.
Thanks, JVD. But yeah, you knew what I meant. That's not live.
Dylan says, I think NTs should embrace moving pin placements around like in traditional golf. As the week progresses, the pins get harder. I'm also a big fan of tournaments that have a cut after the second round. Oh, after the second round?
Like they do in golf.
Yeah.
Golf
Wow.
plays
They do
2 rounds.
2 rounds
You got to
and then
make
if-
the cut to play the weekend.
Yep.
I don't know if I agree
I
with
know that. Wow.
necessarily agree with alternate pin positions every single round.
Mhm.
I can get on board with moving like 1 or 2 pins, maybe 3 or 4 at most. But we used to do it at GBO. When I first started running GBO, we played East and West, and that was it because that's the only 2 courses we had.
Yep.
And you played a different hole every single round. Like, does that make sense? Like different layout each round. You never played the same hole twice. And I loved it back then, but now I personally prefer the pros being able to dial it in, and dial in. Cream rises to the top, and by that last round, they're focused. They've got the course down pat basically, and they can attack it, and it just creates a little more drama coming down the stretch. I think than playing different holes.
Yep. I love cuts though.
I'm all for cuts. Absolutely, it makes the weekend go by so much better.
Yeah. Well, and it puts more emphasis on the first couple of rounds. Like if you're lazy the first couple of rounds, sorry, you don't get to redeem yourself. That's it.
What would be the cutoff? Like
Usually the cash line, so 40%.
No. What day does that happen?
In golf, it's 2 days.
Golf, it's
I've
on a
seen
Friday.
on a-
End of
they
Friday.
play Thursday, Friday,
Saturday, Sunday.
and then after Friday, there's a cut.
So on a 4-day event,
2 days.
2 days is.
And golf, it's different because, well, I don't know if this is still true, but I know they used to play, like if Robert and I were on a card, we would go off in the morning on Thursday, and then no matter what we shot, we would go off in the afternoon the next day.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
They wouldn't shuffle the scores. So whoever you played with the first day, that's who you're playing with the second day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Does
really?
that make sense?
I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think
And, well, I guess a lot of times they'll play threesomes too, right? On the first 2 days, and then they play twosomes.
Why do you like that?
because of the same thing we talked about with weather. If you have an earlier tee time, then a lot of times you're going to have to just deal with different things. Like in golf, there's going to be a little bit more dew on the ground, but the wind's probably going to be a little bit calmer. So the greens are going to play softer, but you've got a little bit of stuff to contend with. And usually playing in the morning is a little bit more favorable in
But
golf.
wouldn't that say that then you just need to be a better overall player?
Well, yes, but think about this, like hitting off of and landing on ground like golf, in the afternoon, that could be so different if the greens dry up and now they're rolling harder, like when you hit the ball on the green. There's a distinct advantage to playing in the morning sometimes, or just depending on course conditions. So what they're doing is trying to make sure that when you flip-flop those, right? If I played in the morning...
It's funny the way you showed me
Yeah.
flip-flop
Sorry.
visually.
Yeah. When I play in the morning, if I get to play in the afternoon the next day,
Right.
as much as they can, everyone gets kind of the same set of circumstances over 2 days.
Gotcha.
I love it for that. I think that's cool.
Eric says more added cash for FPO.
Sure.
Let me ask you this, Eric. Now, I know you can't. Obviously, you can't defend your position because you're not listening, or maybe you are. Does that mean less cash for the MPO, or are you trying to say that the TDs should work harder to get more money for the FPO? In other words, where does that extra money come from? Because this is obviously more money, you're saying. So where does that come from?
Right.
Required media, and I'm not coming down on you. I'm just saying that's a thing to think about. Someone says required media next day coverage, up-to-date baskets, live coverage, maybe certain size requirements for tee pads, so people like James Conrad doesn't have to run 4 steps before they get there on the pad. I would agree with a lot of those points, Bailey. It is,
The pads work for everybody else, though.
right.
So,
What I was saying is a lot of and I get it. This is a made-up thing. This is just getting your opinion. But a lot of these suggestions requires more time, more resources, more money, because a lot of these parks that we have places, they're not going to have the resources to fulfill all these. Now you might be saying, well, then they shouldn't be NTs. Well, then we might not have as many NTs as we have right now, or at least people trying to bid for them.
There isn't very many NTs.
How many is there like right now?
There's like 5 or 6, I think.
Oh, well, yeah. I guess it feels like they're more because there's a disc golf pro tour, but that's not necessarily true. Let's see what somebody else. Does anybody else saying anything on the chat that we can?
well, Tim dropped another $1.99. He said Bobby and Eric need to do some commentating too.
Nah, I am not a commentator.
Are you not?
I'll do it.
Eric is good
Eric
at
does well.
commentating, but
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I'd be a. I don't know what you'd call it. Like just showing you exactly what you just saw.
Oh, just
Yeah.
saying.
James Conrad just threw that about 200 feet into the field.
Yeah.
That's about all. It
Nice.
got.
You're a play-by-play guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're play-by-play.
But even then,
That's what I did most of the time this weekend was just play-by-play.
Right, but I wouldn't be able to add any colorfulness to it.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
You would.
Dylan,
Conrad just threw the out of that. Oh,
Oh, wait, what?
I was like, what?
Dylan, my new brand of hair clay is Maverick by Paul Mitchell. It's like a medium paste or something like that.
Have a minimum added cash mark that has to be hit. Coverage for MPO and FPO. Schedule of events not including tournament rounds to show more things fans to do besides watch rounds, block party, meet, and so come to the GBO. That's what he's saying, I guess. Good signal for live. So a lot of people are saying live. They really love it. A lot of people like live. Johnny V, are you on the show still?
Yep, he is.
What is the forecast? Oh, in Smashbox. So is Terry? Did Johnny get on Smashbox, or is Terry and Johnny V on? Terry has never tuned into our show.
Johnny is on here.
He's on Smashbox. What does it look like for live for next year? I know we're only in the middle of the year, but we're kind of winding things down as far as the big season. We're already talking about finales and things like that. I wonder what the forecast is for live. Is it going to be even in more demand next year? Or, a lot of people say that live is pretty expensive. When we look at tournaments trying to build their event, a lot of money spent on live.
So is post-production.
Yeah, it's true. But I know that, I get the feeling that sometimes live is the one that's sacrificed when it comes to what do you decide to do or invest in, because it's obviously a lot simpler or easier to invest in post-production than it is in live. So I was just curious what his thoughts are as moving forward.
You want to get to some skip ace there?
Oh, yeah, let's talk about some skip ace when we come back to some more of the stuff. So skip ace, we did Idlewild.
Yeah, how do we do?
How do you think we did?
I don't remember who we put in. Who are our people?
We put in Calvin,
okay,
Zach Melton, Michael Johansson, Nate Perkins, Missy Gannon, and Paige Pierce.
Okay, Missy.
How do we get negative points again?
Missy didn't play her best. If that's so that you can't
tank someone.
Yeah, because if you just got 0 for a certain portion of the field, then you could pick the lowest rated player, and then just get all the top 3 or whatever. So
we ranked number 60.
Okay,
so not too bad.
Yeah. So who was our top point getter there?
Top is Timmy.
No. Who was our top player?
Our top player would have been Paige Pierce at 250.
Well,
Calvin got us at 215 for Calvin.
Yep. Cool.
Zach got us 70. Michael got us 181. Nate got us 134. And Missy hurt us with negative 55.
Yeah, she had a tough weekend for sure.
So the top person was Timmy.
Timmy.
But we're going to go to random number generator. And what did I say? We got 60 place. So 1 to 60.
1 to 59.
59. Number 3. That will be Conan McNamara.
Conan O'Brien.
Conan McNamara. He picked Kevin Jones, Alex Russell, Garrett Gerthy, Andrew Marweed.
Yeah.
Paige Pearson, Madison Walker. Madison got some good points. Yeah.
Third place.
So we got third place. So Conan McNamara, please be signed in to skipace.com. Take a screenshot, email it to Bobby, B-O-B-B-Y, at dynamicdiscs.com, and I'll get your address, and we will send you a disc from my goodie bag I have.
Doc, we picked Zach Melton. Had we picked Zach Arlinghouse, we would have done a little bit better.
Oh, yeah.
Because Zach Arlinghouse tied for 8th place.
Boy, chats are coming in strong.
Hannibal 1975, $2. He says, what is fair money for one-on-one lessons with a legit pro? Depends on who it is, if they're a good teacher or not. When I've done lessons before, I will do 2 hours. The first 30 to 45 minutes we'll work on whatever you want to just out in the field, and then the remaining time we'll go play around, just so we can kind of integrate it on the course. And I usually charge $40 for that. I haven't done a whole lot of them. People who are better than me, I've heard of charging more, and I could see that totally being worth it. So yeah, fair money is kind of whatever you guys decide is fair. And then Ace Run Productions with a $9.99 super chat. Thanks, Ace Run. Says, thank you, Disc Golf Answer Man. We will be giving away a Gladiator and Air Defender that Bobby sent us to review soon. Sub to our YouTube to enter to win. So yeah, go over to Ace Run Productions, sub to their YouTube. And while you're at it, go ahead and sub to ours as well.
Please do. Johnny V says something. He's got plans. He has a lot of plans for live, but it really depends on how did he put it? But a lot depends on the status of the NTs and Disc Golf Pro Tour. Yeah. I'd imagine you've got a lot of ideas you'd like to try. It's just a matter of having the resources to do that. Someone brought up something that I thought would be interesting. I saw it on the Disc Golf Debate group. They think there's a discussion saying about TDs making a profit. Thoughts? Chase says, I personally think they should make a profit because of the hours of work they put in. Work shouldn't be free. I'm just going to keep it real for me. For me. What is so wrong with making a profit?
Yeah.
Now, I get it. If you just totally just make a gross profit where it's just like you're making like hand over fist with it. But I don't think there's any TDs out there just making hand over fist as far as money. But what is so wrong is if at the end of the night, all the hours they put in, their numbers are in the positive. I don't get it. I really don't get. Somebody explain to me that is against the TD making money. Explain to me why they shouldn't walk away in the black.
In the black, yeah.
Yeah, in the black.
Yeah, I understand the thing where they say, at a certain level, your player pack is supposed to equal a certain percentage of your entry fee, right? So they say 100% payout. Usually that's done by retail numbers, so that on wholesale the TD can still make some profit, and I think that works out great for everybody.
Someone says profit. Some will want to go way overboard. Yes, that's looped mess. I get it, but we can't. I don't want to punish everybody because of the outliers, because of the small percentage that will take advantage. If someone is doing that, they'll get found out and they'll suffer the consequences, or their events won't last very long. But that doesn't mean nobody should be able to make a profit. We have a stigma we have such an issue with the stigma people have about disc golf and disc golfers, but we have this stigma about TDs making money. They bust their butts. They should be able to make a little something. That's kind of my thing. Yeah. If they're doing the work and they do a good job and you enjoyed yourself at the event, win or lose, you had a good time, you had the chance to win something. That was the risk you took when you paid, and you have a good time and you walk away and that person's in the positive. I don't see what's wrong with that.
No, I like that.
Personally, I would like to do a pay-per-view. I'm assuming pay-per-view model.
Yep.
A cut should go to the event as well. I don't know how well that would fly. Yeah, I'd agree, Johnny V. Disc Golf Planet, I remember, tried to do a pay-per-view.
Yep, I paid for it,
and it
just didn't happen.
It just didn't take off. I think that would be almost kind of. It feels hard to go backwards. Like me, I know this is kind of a weird example, but like Netflix. I already pay for Netflix, and I have enjoyed Disney movies. Well, now Disney is going to make their own channel, and now you're going to have to pay a separate fee to watch Disney stuff, which is including Star Wars stuff. Now they're coming out with a new
and Marvel too, right?
And Marvel, and they're coming out, but they're doing things to where it's not just watching Disney; it's watching original content. What is it? Remember, I sent you the promo for it. It's a Star Wars story. Is it about Chewbacca?
You sent it to me.
I thought I did a long time ago. It was a trailer. Anyway, it's supposed to be. I believe it's about this. It's the Chewbacca storyline. No, it's the Boba Fett storyline.
Oh yeah, the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
that Jon Favreau is doing.
Yeah. You're only going to be able to watch it on the Disney paid channel, and that really makes me mad. That now, do I choose Netflix? Do I pay extra now for the Disney channel when I used to be able to watch Disney stuff on Netflix? I've totally lost my. So it feels like I'm now going to pay more, and so to be able to, if it's going to feel not backwards, but kind of weird to take something that was once free to now make it something paid.
Yep. Jerome Yanchik Jr. on the board says the Bazooka placed well over the weekend too. Shout out to Albert Tom. He's one of our Estonian guys on Latitude 64's team. Ended up in second place behind Nate Sexton at the event that they played over in Europe this week. And played exceptionally well at the European Open, too. I think he tied for third, which was really cool. Albert is the real deal, man. He's a young player, and he has all the tools. I think he's going to be someone to watch out for the next couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dylan says you can look at the more traditional tournament model for a Little League sport. Most of the entry fees goes to player packs and running tournaments, and profit comes from vendors and concessions.
Okay. I don't know, man. I just don't have a problem with TDs making money. I think that makes them want to run a better event. If somebody's price gouging, people aren't going to show up to that. But if they're putting on great events every single time, you want to show up.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the next topic that we had on here. And that was about Calli. So a question was sent in where someone said,
doubles.
Where did Calli's come? Where did the term Calli come from? And I actually asked Robert and Eric, and neither of them knew. So I thought, well, we know what it is. Sure. We just don't know the exact origin. So I thought we'd tap into the knowledge of our Facebook group and see what we got. Right now we're sitting at 82 comments.
Nice.
So we got a lot of people chiming in, and most people are saying Calli comes from California, or at least some of the people are. And I want to know how you played it. Now, the way I played it is you get to throw twice.
On every shot?
When I played it at Jones the other day, I got to throw...
Depends on who you are.
Twice.
On each hole.
On each hole, and that was it. So if I ended up throwing once, I get to throw again, and then I get to pick which one so I could almost pick if I wanted to try at a putt again.
Right.
See, there's so many different rules.
I know. Yeah. That's why I was curious what some people say.
Because I've heard... Well, you can go ahead and read some of them.
Our local doubles plays Calli, but they get one extra shot per hole. The Calli chooses what shot they would like to take their extra throw. One extra throw per hole. It looks like a lot of it says one extra. This one says extra throws equals par minus 2. So the typical par 3 gets one extra throw, but a par 4 gets 2 extra throws, and par 5 gets 3 extra throws. Wow. I've never heard of that.
No.
So yeah, it seems like most people are one extra shot per hole.
That's how I've always played it. And if you wanted to play an extra shot on every shot, you could pay again.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. If you wanted to throw 2 shots on every hole, you pay twice.
Yes. 2 shots on every shot. You play twice. You pay twice.
So you take 2 drives, 2 mids, 2 putts.
Right.
Oh, wow.
If you paid the extra.
Yep.
Christian has cleared it up for us. It is short for Caliosaurus. It's an ancient dinosaur that always was alone, but it had double the arms of the other dinosaurs, so that it was where the double throw originates from.
Nice. Thank you.
He probably saw that in some sort of the writings on the
hieroglyphics.
Hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
He probably saw that someday on a hike and saw that. And
that sounds right.
And deduced that.
I've also heard of you have to take your Calli shot.
I've heard that too.
So if I take 2 drives, if I throw a drive
and
I'm parked,
I
might as well play that one. Because if I take the Calli shot and throw again,
you have to take.
You have to play the second one. I've seen people play both ways.
Yeah, I haven't seen them do that.
Because then if you're gonna lay up and then try to ace it each time. And then I've also heard this one, when you're playing Calli, your second tee shot doesn't count toward the ace pot.
I've heard that as well.
Your second tee shot doesn't count. Oh wow.
I've aced as Calli one time with my second shot and gotten the ace pot.
Yeah.
This Max Garcia mentioned something like you said earlier. He says, here in this part of California, we call it Calli, and you get 1 extra throw per hole. Unless you buy in twice, then you're super Calli and get 2 throws from each line. That is a good question as to where the term came. Oh, he's curious as well. Then Blake follows up and says, is that where they got super Calli fragilistic expialitosis?
Yes.
I thought that was pretty good. 1 mulligan per hole. Yeah, I have no idea. The oranges, we have 2 versions. Calli is 1 extra shot per hole. True Calli, so he calls it true Calli, is 2 shots per hole, but requires you to pay in twice. In Charlotte, they call it Lone Wolf, and 1 extra shot per hole with a couple of exceptions. If you opt to pay in a second entry, 2 shots from every lie. With no extra buy-in, all par 3s get 1 extra shot, wherever par 4 or 5 would be 2 extra shots. Wow, yeah. So kind of like the other guy. It was called Clint in the South.
Clint?
Yeah, I traveled to Nashville last year and was so confused how everyone knew this Clint dude.
I've never heard that one.
I've never heard it called Clint.
Well.
Yeah, some people. I saw Clint, Lone Wolf. What was the game we played that one time?
Clint Eastwood?
I don't know. It just says Clint. Was it just called Wolf, Eric?
Mm-hmm. Wolf.
It was called Wolf.
Wolf.
Yeah, Wolf is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Very much fun.
All right, so looks like that's what about everybody. I never heard of the add extra holes depending on the par. Oh, in Tennessee they called it Clint. I'm gonna have to ask people when I go to the Music City Open. We call it. Ethan says we call it Mully Man.
Yeah, I like Ace Run in the chat says Calli should also require the 2 meter rule to be in effect for that person only.
Ouch.
I like it. I love being Calli at doubles events. I will pay twice every time. And Ace Run everything.
Every time.
Yes. When given the option.
Jesse says he's heard it called Hollywood and Wild Man.
I like Wild Man.
I know.
Chaser just said that in the chat,
man.
too. Before you said that, he said Wild Man's another term I've heard for it. That's
X-Man in upstate New York.
I've heard of X-Man.
And it's the most unfair thing in all of sports. You have to play by yourself, which is already a disadvantage, but then as an added kick in the butt, you have 4 shots to make par when every other team in the field gets 6.
Why?
The second time I drew X-Men was the last time I ever played a random draw dubs event. Never again.
Ouch.
Wow.
That makes no sense.
Bitter much?
Yeah. Woof.com.
Cool.
This is viral marketing.
All right, so that's cool discussing. So no one knows really the origin of the actual word Cali. Of course, maybe Cali is from California, and then these other places just make up a name for it. Maybe the place where they called Wild Man, they were just like, dude,
that's wild.
You don't have a yeah, you don't have a partner, dude. That's wild, man.
Yeah. Hey, we should call you Wild Man.
We should call you. You're gonna play all alone, Wolf. You're the lone wolf.
Newbie63 says, I'm in Knoxville, Tennessee, and it's Clint here, and my friend Clint was very confused. All right, you're playing Clint. Wait, I had a partner.
I'm already playing with
I already got a partner over here.
It's goofy. Had a guy call and yell at me because he is all shirts in his what? Because his all shirts in his size were already claimed and he doesn't want one of them. Is it? Oh, he must be talking about something else. There must be another conversation going on. What is Wolf? Obviously, Jerome, you don't watch Office, or unless that's. Am I missing a reference there when he says what is Wolf?
No, this was before we said Wolf.com.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wolf is another type of game that you can play. It's probably a little more complex than you'd like to talk about on air, but I'm sure there's YouTube videos about it. You should check it out. It's a fun game to play with your buddies if you are not trying to keep score personally, if you're just going out for a fun round, and it's really great for 5 people. That's where it shines, is if you've got 5 people.
All right, so we're going to do 2 through 153 on the Cenis giveaway. Random generator number 145, and that's going to be, scrolling on down, Austin Dale. He says 3 courses, 1 wooded, 1 open, all concrete tee pads, and excellent quality baskets. The PDJ would need to visit the course to verify the lines, especially the wooden ones are fair and require skill. So that's what he wants to. If he were in charge of PDJ, he would do that. But Austin, your name was drawn, so you win the red Cenis. Make sure you logged into nothing. You don't have to, because you don't have to prove anything. Just I'm going to email you and let you know that you won, and we'll get you that red Cenis out to you. Any other topics we want to talk about? Anything trending on YouTube that we need to give our opinion on? I mean, I can give my opinion on a lot of stuff, but
Ace Run says they call Calli Toby Flenderson because no one likes the odd dog.
Thoughts on in the air doubles? In the air, I never heard that.
You have to throw your shot before your partner's shot hits the ground,
or a tree.
Yeah, I like it.
What now? Oh, you have to.
Same as tailgate dubs.
I got you. All right, we've got dead air.
Yeah, I mean, I think this has been a solid show.
Solid show. Thank you guys. We're still 96 likes.
We went up pretty good.
I mean, that's good. I love you guys. Thank you so much. But come on, we got 217 people on right now.
If for no other reason than just to get Bobby to stop talking about it.
Give us a like real quick before we go off the air.
Do it.
Do it. Give us a like.
Do it.
In the comments, put Apple Music or Spotify. Which one should I have?
I do Apple Music.
Everybody else does Spotify.
Aaron Volleyball Libero is a defensive specialist whose substitutions don't count against the team's total substitutions. You're welcome.
You knew that?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Because I love volleyball.
Yes, you do.
Shay and I met playing volleyball.
Really?
Yep.
Was she a libero?
Try again.
Or what is it? Volleyball libero.
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 Yes.
Liberin?
Some people call it libero. I say libero. Dylan, once again, you might not have been in here earlier. Paul Mitchell Maverick is what the new hair clay is called. And it's like a medium paste. He typed the question again.
No, this is funny. I cannot play. Someone said play Wreck at Music City. I am not there to play. I am there to work. So I'll be there filming, taking pictures, and having a good time.
Yeah.
They pay me to have a good time.
Nice.
Spotify is free, Don M, but I don't want the commercials, and I want to be able to select the music whenever I want. So I pay for Apple Music, and I would pay for Spotify.
Just sweet.
Got it? All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the After show. I'm going to go so I can get things wrapped up and then get ready to head out to Tennessee. Can't wait to see you guys there. Robert McCall is going to be doing something, and Eric will do something else. Nice. Sounds good. What do you got? What do you got going on? Me and some friends from here are headed to St. Louis this weekend to play golf for a weekend, and then after that, I will get into disc golf super training mode to go to an A tier the following weekend to try and qualify for the USDGC. And what are your chances? How are they looking? The people in the field. Let me tell you. I have it pulled up. From ratings top to bottom, Alex Russell, Nathan Queen, Cameron Messerschmidt, Sam Lee, Zachariah Johnson, me, Gavin Rathbun, Bart Kovalevsky, and AJ Carey. Those are the people rated over 990. So there's 9 of those people over 990. 5 spots. I don't believe any of those people have registered. But, I mean, Zach Garlinghouse is in that field. There's some other people that I've heard of before in that field who could be right up there. So, got to finish top 5. Gotcha. All right. What about you, Eric? You don't travel till after the weekend, right?
Yeah.
All right. Are we all going to be here next Tuesday?
I'll be here next Tuesday.
I think I'll be here. I'll be back on Monday. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next